watched in March. So the previous month, I had watched the first 3 episodes of Star Wars. I did it in chronological order, so like episode 1, 2, and 3 I watched last month, and a lot of people said that was like a bad decision, but honestly, it's only a bad decision like in terms of like lore and like world building, I feel like, because in episode 1, 2, and 3 I feel like they kind of have things so that like the way that it is like they expect you to have already watched the other ones, so they don't explain like the Force as in depth or anything like that. So like I guess that's an issue, but I'm glad that I watched it in this order because I enjoyed the original trilogy a lot more, and I feel like I would have been like super bored watching episode 1, 2, and 3 after having watched these ones. And I wasn't worried about like spoilers or anything like that because like I knew like that Luke and Leia were related. I knew that Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, was their father already. Like I already knew that stuff, so I wasn't really worried about that kind of thing. So but anyways, so I watched the first Star Wars, meaning episode 4, right? Yeah, episode 4 came out in 1977. Crazy. Before anyone says anything though, the way that I rate films, like these are good ratings, okay? So don't like think anything bad by these, okay? So this one I rated 4 out of 5 stars. I only give 5 stars to films that are like immediately become a favorite. I'm obsessed with everything about it. I loved every part of it. I loved the dialogue. I loved the acting. I loved the soundtracks. I loved like the costuming. I loved every part about it. That's what I give 5 stars to, okay? Just for context. So I gave this 4 stars. I'm trying to think exactly what happens in this one. Oh, you know what I will say though is I know a lot of people love him, but I fucking hate Han Solo. I know a lot of people love him, but he is so cocky and annoying. And I guess it's similar to his Indiana Jones character, but I don't really like Indiana Jones as a person either. I just think he's entertaining, you know? So like, yeah, I wasn't really too big a fan of him. Oh my god, this poster is so funny. The way that they illustrated them is crazy. What else happens? They save Leia, blah blah blah. I'm trying to think if there was anything that I like hated besides Han Solo. No, I don't think so. Although, like, it's really interesting to watch any older-ish film. Like, this isn't super, well, I mean, I guess it is technically really old, but it's not, like, super, super old. And it's so interesting to see the style of acting change, because I feel like then it was very, obviously this one was 1977, but I feel like in the 80s especially, like, it was so, like, theater. Like, it was very much the kind of acting that you would see on, like, stage or something. And it's like, watching it now, it's like almost bad because it's just not realistic. But anyway, not specifically about this film, I'm just saying in general. It's interesting to see that style change, but anyways, and then I'm trying to think like anything else. Oh yeah, also, I remember what I wanted also interesting, I'm pretty sure the person that I was watching it with, he said that it was, I think he said it was because of like the props being more fragile or something, but the lightsaber fights, or the lightsaber fight I should say, I think there was only one, was so boring. And I think that's because I watched the other episodes first, where obviously they have better props. Can this dog shut up? Where they have better props and just better choreography for those scenes. I think maybe that's why I was so like, girl, this is lame a little bit. Because there was like this big fight or whatever between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, and I was like, shh. Like it was very like, it was almost like fencing. The way that they were swinging the lightsaber and stuff, it was very fencing like. So that was kind of weird, but I still enjoyed it though. But yeah, and then next I watched, obviously, the next one, which was The Empire Strikes Back. I gave that one 3.5 stars. I actually feel like I should change my rating on this because I feel like I changed my mind. I only gave it 3.5 though. I would have given it 4 stars, but it was kind of like, actually I feel like maybe I changed my mind. I feel like, obviously, I do think the action scenes were way better in this one, and I think like I don't know what they're called, like those like, not elephant, like, but like those like mammoth looking robots that the dark side uses. Those were really cool, and I really liked the effects that they used to like create that. It was really cool. Because you can definitely tell that it's like a stop motion type of thing. Like I don't know if it was claymation, but it looked like some sort of like miniature prop. But anyways, that was cool. And then we see Yoda for the first time, and he was probably like the best part of this film for me. He was so fucking hilarious. He's definitely not like that in the other episodes, so it was really like unexpected for him to have like that kind of personality and stuff. So I was kind of like, oh. And yeah, he was definitely really funny. Let's see, Han Solo and Leia kind of like go a little further in their relationship. Again, I still don't really like him at this point, but I was kind of like, I get it, but also I don't really personally like him, but because I hate cocky people, but they're so cute. Oh, also I love C-3PO and R2-D2's relationship. They're so cute. I especially love R2-D2, but and then we see oh yeah, Han Solo gets frozen. Which, like, to me, I wasn't super emotionally impacted by that because, one, I don't like him that much, and two, I knew that he was in the next one, so I was kind of like, okay, like, sorry for you, Leia, but like, he'll come back. I'm not really worried about it. But, oh, also, I loved Chewbacca and Han Solo. Like, I knew that they were like a duo before watching the films, but I didn't know how much like they cared about each other, if that makes sense. Like, I kind of just thought they were partners, you know. But they definitely are like really good friends, and I loved seeing that kind of like development of seeing like Chewbacca try and like defend him and stuff like that. Like, I liked seeing that. What else did we see? Oh yeah, I mentioned Yoda, so we saw like Luke kind of learning the Force a little bit, kind of figuring that out in general, but then actually I think I did like watching episode 1, 2, and 3 first, because also related, I should say. And by that I mean, like, in this film, when he's training to be a Jedi with Yoda and like learning the Force and stuff, he has a vision of Han Solo and Leia like being in trouble, and he wants to go help them because he saw, like, you know, things happening to them in this vision. And it's very similar to what happens with Anakin. Obviously Anakin saw like Padme literally die, like it's a little bit different, but and that's what caused him to go to the dark side, was because he needed a way to save her and make sure that she was alright, which ended up becoming the reason why she ends up dying in the first place, is because he ends up turning to the dark side and blah blah blah. So it was interesting seeing that, and then like knowing that he didn't go the same way. Like, he had the same motivations as his dad, and like he could have easily gone to the dark side and stuff, but he didn't. So that's really interesting. And then we see Darth Vader and Luke kind of like square off at the end. And that's when we get the iconic scene of him revealing that he is Luke's father. Which the only surprise from that scene that I got was, I did not know that was in this film. I thought it would be in the last film for some reason, which I guess it makes sense that it's in the second one, but I wasn't expecting it, so I was like, wait a minute, we're getting this scene already. But yeah, obviously I knew that already, but it was still, you know, and Mark Hamill's acting was really good in that scene. And they kind of fight a little bit. The fight scene is definitely better than the first movie. Definitely better. Yeah, I think that's everything I have to say about this one. Then I watched the Return of the Jedi. This one I gave, how many stars did I give this? This one I didn't like as much. I gave it 3 stars. This one is where we see Jabba the Hutt, and Leia gets captured by him, saving Han Solo, and she becomes his slave, and that's where that iconic like slave Leia outfit comes from, the one where she's in like that kind of like bikini-ish top. It's a gorgeous outfit, honestly. If I had the body, I would wear that for Halloween, but maybe one day. But it's like gorgeous. Anyways, Luke's more advanced at this point. He definitely knows his way around the Force more. He has his own lightsaber now, because previously I think he was using his dad's old lightsaber or something that Obi-Wan gave him. I think. At least at some point he was using that. Maybe he was using Obi-Wan's after Obi-Wan passed away in the first film. Maybe he was using that one, I don't remember. But now he has his blue lightsaber instead of green. And yeah, it kind of opens with all of that, with the capturing, and Leia unfreezes Han Solo, because Jabba the Hutt has Han Solo's, like, I don't know what it is, like cryo-frozen or something, has him, and she unfreezes him, and then they get captured, and then Luke comes, and they're about to get executed, and Luke has like this plan that's already planned, and basically everybody gets saved. Han Solo is like blind during all of this, because I guess like coming out of the cryo-frozen or whatever the fuck it's called, I don't know, I can't remember, but coming out of that, I guess you don't get your sight back for a bit. I don't know, but that's what they said. Yeah, and then oh, we see the Ewoks in this one. I've heard a are we hating the Ewoks? I loved them. I thought they were so cute. I mean, that's not the only reason. They were just like fun and interesting in general, but like I heard such hatred to them throughout the years, but I like them. So we saw them, and then Luke learns that there's another Skywalker. Yoda tells him when he passes away, he tells Luke that there's another Skywalker out there, obviously besides his dad and him. So he's like, another Skywalker, what? And then who tells him he has a sister? I can't remember. Someone tells him. Oh, Obi-Wan's ghost tells him that he has a sister, a twin sister, and immediately he's like, Leia's my sister. And then turns out that's true. Mind you, okay, hold on. Then he ends up telling Leia this, that they're siblings, and she immediately goes, somehow I've always known. Mind you, like a movie or two ago, she fucking kissed him. So what do you mean you always knew? What do you mean you always knew? The fact that she said always knew made it worse for me. Like, there's already an incest kiss, especially between twins. But to have it, like, to have her be like, I somehow deep down, I always knew that you were my twin brother. Gross. Anyway, Han and Leia are like, they've been like officially like in love and together, I guess. Especially throughout this whole movie, because then the whole time, Leia for some reason doesn't just tell Han that Luke is her brother, and instead is like being weird and like not purposefully secretive, but like just being fucking weird. And then so Han obviously suspects that she loves Luke or whatever, and he's like, I get it, I'll step out of the way. And she's like, and then finally she's like, oh no, you don't understand, he's my brother. Just say that, bitch. The fuck. Anyway, and then at the end we get the fight scene with Luke and Darth Vader / Palpatine. And Palpatine wants him to turn to the dark side, so he's like egging him on, trying to get him to kill Darth Vader. He's like, kill him. And he's like, no, I won't do it. And then Palpatine tries to kill Luke with like lightning or some shit. And then Darth Vader, like kind of last minute, kind of attacks Palpatine. And he gets electrocuted. Darth Vader gets electrocuted, and he kills Palpatine. Pushes him down and kills him. Obviously we know he isn't dead, technically, because of the sequel movies. But killed him. At this point, he is dead. Supposed to be dead, until they retconned that to bring him back in the future films. But he's supposed to be dead. And then he is dying himself because of him being like struck by lightning, I guess. And then he has this like heartfelt moment with Luke, and he like has Luke take off his helmet so that he can like look upon him with his own eyes, and they kind of like say goodbye to each other. And then Anakin says, like, you were right about me, because Luke had previously said, like, I know there's still light inside of you, I know that, you know, mirrors that part of you or whatever. I can feel it. And then he said, like, no, it's not true. And then at this point, he's saying, like, you were right. And then he passes away, and they, like, the rebels win the battle / war, I guess. And then they have, like, a little celebration with the Ewoks as, like, you know, the end of the movie. Yeah, I liked that one. Next, I watched Monty Python and the Holy Grail. This is like a comedy movie from the 70s. I gave it 2 stars because I need to sneeze. Excuse me. While I thought it was really funny, it was like kind of slow. Like it was, well, not kind of, it was very slow. But I did think it was really funny and the jokes were really good. I can see why people love it. But I was just like, it just went on really long. Just the pacing was the problem for me. But besides that, it was really funny. The jokes were really good and everything. Yeah, nothing really to say about that one. Next, we have Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. This one, I can't tell. I did need to sneeze. Okay. I think I'm okay now. This one is the 3rd film? I don't know. But, he's definitely older in this one. Came out in 2008. I gave this one 2.5 stars because, it was still good. It was still, like, fun, whatever. As, like, all of the Indiana Jones films are. But, who was in this movie? Shia LaBeouf. Oh, we do get Marion back, period. Was really happy to see this bitch instead of some other fucking annoying ass bitch, you know what I mean? I gave it 2.5 stars, I remember now. Or 2 stars. Or 2.5. What did I give this? Or did I give it 3 stars? Whatever I said. Anyways, I gave it that because, okay, Shia LaBeouf's character kind of like, it was so cliche. I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos, but it's just like some really like cheesy, like stupid scenes where I'm like, okay. Like, for example, there's this scene where Shia LaBeouf, what's his name? I don't know, we'll just call him Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf and Indy are like at a diner or something talking about whatever, and they're also being like hunted by these men or whatever. Or technically I think Indy is being hunted by the men, or maybe the other way around. Anyways, they're being like followed or whatever by the Soviets, by some Soviet people, and Indy notices and he's like, whatever. Anyways, the whole point is he tells Shia to punch this guy to like cause a distraction. So like he does, he punches some jock in the face, and then the jock punches him back, and then like random groups of like a random group of jocks that like I don't even think half of them know this guy, and then the other half is greasers because Shia LaBeouf is a greaser. This group of greasers comes up and they for sure do not know Shia LaBeouf, and they like stand behind him. They're like, because like if you punch a greaser, like you're attacking all of us or whatever. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on right now? And then they have like this standoff, and then they get into this big fight, and Indy It's like so fucking stupid. But nonetheless, it's still funny and fun or whatever. So I was kind of like, okay, whatever. Then there's just like all these like really unrealistic scenes of like, just like you wouldn't realistically be able to do something like that. But then at the same time, I was like, it's a movie, like it's meant to be fun to watch. Like, who cares if you can actually do it in real life? You know what I mean? It's a movie. So I was like, I'm not gonna let like these action scenes bother me too much, even though it's like, what? Kate Blanchett played one of the Soviet leaders in this film, which was interesting. I love Kate Blanchett, but also I was kind of like, her accent was kind of slipping. I don't know if it's just me that notices, because I feel like I'm pretty good at recognizing accents. In that, like, setting or whatever. But I could hear her slipping into her English accent by accident in certain words, and I was like, oh, this is really taking me out of it, like, it's really bothering me. But, like, also this film, I guess as the Indiana Jones films go on, it gets, like, more supernatural and, like, funky. And in this one, it's fucking aliens. Which I believe in aliens, but it was also kind of like, what? I mean, I guess we saw supernatural stuff in the other films, but I was kind of like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, it was very interesting. But it was still good, so it was still, like, decent. I still had fun watching it, so yeah. Then lastly, for March, I watched the last Indiana Jones, which is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny from 2023. So Harrison Ford is really fucking old in this one. This one I gave 1.5 stars. Now, I gave it 1.5 stars because I kind of hated it. I mean, it was still fun-ish to watch, which is why it got 1.5 instead of 1 or 1/2 of a star. But this one kind of like, okay. I love Phoebe Waller-Bridge, but her character in this made me want to fucking, like, put a pistol in my mouth. Like, she wasn't as bad as that one bitch from that other movie. I can't remember which one it was. The one that Short Round is in. That woman is so annoying. So she wasn't as bad as that, but her decisions and, like, her actions and stuff were just pissing me off. But she isn't as bad as the others, so I will say, you know, whatever. She's fine, okay? Mads Mikkelsen is in this as our villain. He's a Nazi. We've had Nazis in the previous film. Obviously, the one before this, they focused more on the Soviets as the villain. But before that, it was just Nazis. Like, Nazis, like from Germany. Nazis is what I mean. Like that specific group. Sorry. But in this one, I'm not editing this video, so sorry. But, where was I? Mads Mikkelsen is like a Nazi in this, and, basically, the Dial of Destiny is basically like a time travel device. And they think, at the beginning, they think that it's like to time travel whenever. it was so weird because they don't even stay to help at the end because, like, they know who wins the war and they don't want to change history and blah, blah, blah. But, like, I'm pretty sure the people that they were supposed to help, like, the reason why they came and, like, or whatever, they already win the war. So I'm like, what's the point of this? I'm so, like, I don't know if I was just dumb and, like, missed something, but I was like, what? This is so anticlimactic. It was really weird because the whole reason also why Mads Mikkelsen wanted to use the Dial of Destiny was to time travel back to Nazi Germany and, like, I don't know, like, win the war or something. I don't know. It was strange. Anyway, my other gripe with this movie is that they have this kid in it. I mean, he's fine. Like, the actor's fine. The character's fine. The writing, however, was like, what? Basically, they have this kid that is Phoebe Waller-Bridge's, like, sidekick or whatever, and he's literally short round. Like, that's literally, like, same backstory, too. Oh, how'd you find this guy? How'd you find this boy? Oh, I got him pickpocketing on the street of whatever and his parents died or whatever. So basically I, like, kind of adopted him. That's literally short round. His parents died and Indy got him pickpocketing him. Same fucking thing. Like, you couldn't come up with something else? At least. He does have the same, like, role as short round, like, sidekick who is, like, a smart kid who, like, will ride or die for their person. It's literally the same character, but, like, at least give him a bit different backstory. I was so, like, I don't know. But, yeah, this one was really awful, honestly. Like, I feel like they could have written it so much better. And it was, yeah, it was really disappointing, but, like, the action was fun or whatever. It was still, like, kind of fun to watch, even though the story was just like, what the fuck? Which is why 1.5 stars. But yeah, that is the last film I watched in March. So yeah, that'll be the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Reminder that I have a Patreon if you're interested in that. I do